The Democrats are literally panicking as Biden's approval rating has just officially collapsed to 29%. We're going to take a look at the latest polling nightmare. We're going to see how even Democrats have had it with Biden. And make sure to stick with me at the very end of this video when I'll reveal what it all means for the upcoming midterms and beyond. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, Patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your Patriot Professor, helping to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. For all you gold and silver Patriots out there, you know who you are. You're the ones who love that timeless value, silver and gold, particularly in this insane economy. Well, a huge shout out from our good friends over at Gold Co. You have apparently been ringing their phones off the hook, and they couldn't be more excited to serve their fellow patriots. If you don't know them, make sure to click on that link below and give them a visit. Gold Co. is a patriot gold company that specializes in helping you find out how you can protect your retirement with the trustworthiness of gold and silver. And they're so awesome. They want you to succeed so much that they're going to give you up to $10,000 in free silver when you open up an account with them. Gang, they're one of us. They're absolutely amazing. No one's like them. It is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Click on that link below or go to turleytalkslikesgold.com and let's keep those phones ringing off the hook. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Look, over the last several months, as you know, I've been tracking with Joe Biden's fledgling approval rating. And I've been arguing that whenever we saw a new low in Biden's approval, which more or less was like every single week, it's just been stepping downward. But whenever we saw a new low of, say, 38%, 36, 35, 33, I told you it's not done. No matter how low we've gone thus far, Biden's approval numbers have yet to hit rock bottom. They're going to sink even lower. You ain't seen nothing yet, right? And my rationale for that prediction was comparing Biden's approval rating with the right track, wrong track polling. So, for example, the RCP aggregate average for the percentage of voters who believe America is on the wrong track is right now an astonishing 75%. 75% of voters believe the nation is on the wrong track. And again, gang, that's the Real Clear Politics average from their aggregate of all the polling. That's including all the puff polls that are out there. But it also includes the disastrous ones, like the latest Monmouth poll. I mean, if this poll is accurate, this poll is literally beyond devastating for Biden. 88% of voters believe the nation is on the wrong track. That's 9 out of 10 voters. So if Biden is overseeing policies that 70 to 90% of voters disapprove of, well, inevitably, his polling is going to collapse into the 20s. There's just no way around that. Well, my friends, behold the latest from Civics polling, which is an ongoing tracking poll, a daily tracking poll. Biden's approval rating is now officially crashed to just 29%. It is a historic low. According to Gallup, only 5 presidents have sunk into the 20s. Harry Truman, who fell to 22%. Richard Nixon fell to 24%. Jimmy Carter, 28%. George Herbert Walker Bush, 29%. And W, he fell to 25%. So Biden is now officially taking his place among some of the most failed presidencies in our history. Remember, Herbert Walker ended up giving us Clinton. George W. ended up giving us Nancy Pelosi and Obama. And it will be absolutely delicious to see who Biden gives us. And I think we can all guess who that will be. But let's look at some of these numbers in detail. Among independents, Biden has fallen under 20%. He's at 19%, according to the Civics poll. Among Hispanics, Biden has fallen to 36% approval. Nearly 50% of Latinos disapprove of Biden. What's so interesting here is that if we're to compare that with the findings from the latest New York Times poll, which has Biden at a 33% disapproval overall, you'll note that only 32% of Hispanics approve of Biden. So we're consistently getting data that shows that the Democrat coalition is basically unraveling. I mean, that's one of the reasons we're seeing this political paradigm shift among Latinos, like what we just saw a few weeks back with Mayra Flores, who's the first Republican to win in the second largest Latino district in the entire nation in over 100 years. I mean, seriously, look at this poll from El American. If the election were held today, the vast majority of Hispanics would vote for Trump, 39% to 28%. This is absolutely unprecedented. We have never, and I do mean never, we have never seen anything like this. This is a mass defection of Latinos away from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. And it's not just Latinos. Take a look at these numbers from young voters. Biden's approval has sunk to just 19% among voters aged 18 to 29. And speaking of defections, the Civics poll is coming out at the same time a New York Times poll was published. And again, keep in mind, this is the Times, gang. This is the mouthpiece for secular globalist leftism. 64% of Democrats don't want Biden to be the Democrat nominee in 2024. 64%. And of course, if you've lost 64% of your own party, the polling overall is going to be devastating. The latest Harvard-Harris poll shows 71% of all voters, Republican, Independent, and Democrat, 71% don't want Biden to run again. 7 out of 10. And so this is why I've been arguing on the channel and others too that Biden is officially unelectable. Whoever the Republicans run in 2024, at this point in time, that person would win in a landslide. If Biden has lost the entirety of the Republicans, right, for the exception of the rhinos and the never-Trumpers, the 2% of Republicans who always vote Democrat in the end, if he's lost the Republicans completely, and if he's lost upwards of over 80% of independents, Biden is politically dead. He is officially unelectable. You can't overcome a deficit like that, particularly among independents. And certainly not before the midterms. You know, we've got studies on that, right? According to elections analyst Nathan Gonzalez, quote, looking back more than 70 years, there hasn't been a single president who substantially improved his job approval rating from late January, early February of a midterm election year to late October, early November. In fact, the opposite has happened. In the last 18 midterm elections going back to Harry Truman in 1950, the average president's job approval rating dropped 8 points between this time of year and election day for the midterms. 8 points. Again, that was another reason why I didn't think Biden's approval rating had bottomed out, hitting its floor in the 30s back in January, February, March. If he was polling around 35%, say back in February, according to this study, he would inevitably end up dropping to around 27%. And lo and behold, here we are. And I frankly believe we have yet to still see rock bottom. Not with numbers like these, again, coming from the Times. Look at this. This is stunning. 96% of voters see the economy as of central importance for their vote in 2022 and 2024. 96%. In the same way, 96% see inflation and cost of living as the determinative concern for how they're going to vote. And what's their disposition towards our current economic conditions? 87% believe that our economy is either poor or fair, nearly 60% siding with poor. Only 10% believe economic conditions are good or excellent. I have no idea who those 10% are, but you know, God bless them, all right? So what does all of this mean in the end for the upcoming midterms? Well, obviously, we can't say everything that needs to be said about politically correct, sensitive issues on most social media platforms. And so that's why you need to become a Turley Talks Insiders Club member every Monday night. We have a live Q&A with yours truly, as well as some special guests like Mike Lindell and Andy No. And you get to ask your questions. We talk about everything and anything without any worry of cancel culture. So make sure to click on that link below. Sign up to be an Insiders Club member for less than the price of a cup of coffee per day. And I can't wait to see you tonight, Monday night, for our live Q&A. So what does all this mean for the midterms? Well, these two polls that we've been looking at, the president's approval ratings and right track, wrong track polling, These are the two polls that historically are the two most accurate predictive indicators for how midterm elections are going to play out, right? So, for example, as Gallup polling is tracked for decades, when a president is underwater, when a president is under 50% approval, we can expect to see a loss of an average of 37 seats in the House for the president's party. The data that I've seen all involve a president whose approval rating was somewhere in the 40s, okay, when they lose, like 1994 Gingrich Revolution. We're now dealing with a president who's officially crashed into the 20s. We have wrong track polling into the high 80s, and we have presidential approval rating crashing into the 20s. All of this suggests one thing only. Democrats are headed for a bloodbath. If this polling continues, what we saw in Virginia with Glenn Youngkin and the Republicans taking control of the state, what we've been seeing with woke school board recalls all across the nation, what we saw with Latino districts defecting en masse and voting Republican for the first time ever, all of this is just a precursor to a Democratic slaughter in the midterms, which itself promises to be a precursor to a presidential election in 2024 like we've never seen before. Now, before we go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Joy Reid of MSNBC melting down over Patriots taking over the nation. It's absolutely delicious. You're going to love it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.